man getting bit by an alligator and he screams. Sit down first, me.
Oh! No, not an owl. A real scream of pain.
Hey, what up, Screamers? Brock is walking to his car. He's here tonight. We're trying something new. We're going to be driving while screaming in two separate cars. And I'm pulling out of the parking garage right now. And this will be interesting because our drives are different. Obviously, we don't live together. As much as we spend a lot of time together, our partners would probably not care for the living together. Oh, it just opened up this time. Look at that. I'm very excited about how the parking garage didn't ask for two things to scan, just one tonight. So we saw three films. I'm waiting, and when Brock gets on, I'm pretty sure he'll pop up. So, no, and I'm hoping he can hear me. I don't see him on yet. So, oh, there we go. Can you hear me? There's another window. The volume is up. Can you hear me? This is good podcasting. I can tell you right away. That guy just pulled out right in front of me. That's fun. This may not work, fellas and listeners and screamers. But while we're waiting on him, we had three films tonight. We saw a Turkish film called As We Breathe. We caught another film called If I Go, Will They Miss Me? And then we saw Maud Apatow's directorial debut, Poetic License. Brock was on and then he's off again. I don't see a little box for him. And this is the last day of the film festival, so we are totally exhausted. Obviously, we did not record yesterday because we didn't go to the film festival yesterday. We had a interview scheduled, but we ended up canceling that for another film that we saw called The Bridge, which was a pseudo documentary on the Chelsea Football Club and its fans. And then I had an interview today with a short filmmaker. He wasn't short; he was actually quite normal height. But he was the writer-director of a short film called See You Soon, which is a concept film for a larger feature that he has in working on getting funding for and production for, called Brothers Keeper, which looks to be great. Obviously it's hard to know specifically how that's all going to turn out. But the short film was really well done. As you have probably heard from us, we're not typically film fans. Hey, man, how you doing? I was just talking about See You Soon.
About what?
About See You Soon. I was screaming without you.
Okay, gosh.
I was vamping while you were getting online.
You didn't want to wait for me?
No, I did, but I already had it up, so I figured let's get it started, and then,
Okay, now I got to try and get out of here.
Yes, that's part of it. So anyway, Screamers, See You Soon. I don't know how you can see it, but keep an eye out for it, and keep an eye out for the interview, an ear out for the interview, because it was a fun time talking to this young filmmaker who has a lot of promise, and it was a good time. So I was just telling our listeners, Brock, about what we saw today, and how we're wrapping up the festival. Where do you want to start once you get out of your parking garage hell?
Oh, they finally let me out. They wanted to keep me there, but they decided that it was all right for me to leave. I mean, I think we should just start with what we saw first, right?
Yes, as we breathe, the Turkish, is that right?
Yeah, the Turkish Omaha.
Was it 2 years ago that we saw Omaha? Because it wasn't last year, right? It was in Violet Crown.
It was last year.
Oh, it was last year. Okay.
It was last year. And if you haven't seen Omaha, keep an eye out for that so you can like be kind of devastated and broken in a new way.
It's gotten distribution. It should be hitting independent theaters, and I'm guessing streaming. But keep an eye out for it. John Magaro's in it, and he's great, and it's a very, very rough watch. If you're in a really good mood, go see Omaha, and all of that will change.
Yes. And if you don't like yourself much, go.
Hey, that's a ringing endorsement for any film. But this was a film that was about a family and really kind of a young girl. But we're in a small little village town where there's a factory, there's a chemical fire, and then, the film starts off with a chemical fire and then just goes downhill from there. And we watch this fire, this kind of encroaching fire, ruin the lives of this family.
Well, and it's like a small descent into ruin. It's like all of these like tiny, well, I mean, they're not tiny, but they in the grand scheme of thing, right? They're not a fire, but it's like all of these like small things, like they're not getting paid for the cheese that they make, and they drop off at the local shop, and no one's buying things at the market, and the truck keeps breaking down. It's like all of these like just small disasters.
The cows are sick.
Yeah.
Books are getting torn up. The only two people that are happy in this film are a young pair of twins who really are nonplussed by it. They are not affected by anything that's going on around them.
By anything at all.
They just chatter about and are perfectly fine just going with the flow. They've got an older brother who has constant nosebleeds and seems to be sick, like inexplicably sick. It really is the feel bad movie of the year. Like I think it's very beautifully shot and beautifully acted. But fuck me, man, it was just rough the entire time.
Yeah, it was tough. There was a lot of like beautiful moments, I think, and I think a lot of like beauty in the small moments. I mean, this girl who you get the feeling like she just kind of wants to go to school. I mean, she's really concerned about her books. She wants a new school bag, right? Her brother gets a new school bag, which she destroys. Spoiler alert. But she really just kind of wants like those things. And she's the one who, even though she has an older brother, she's the one who does everything, right? She's the dad's right-hand guy. So she's she's doing everything. He's always calling out to her for help. And I mean, she becomes, she's the heartbeat of this whole like film.
Yeah, and I think obviously that the film rests and wins on her shoulders. The moment at the end where, she kind of takes control of her situation and the worst way possible.
Yeah.
I think it's a really powerful image. Obviously, in like, I know it's a cry for being acknowledged and being seen when she's just really kind of taken for granted the entire film. But I really, that where we just kind of rest on her face. I do think this film, like, it feels like it ends a couple of times.
I know.
I kept thinking that as we focus on Esma's face one more time, that the credits were going to roll.
Yep. Yeah. But that scene on the couch when she's on the verge of tears and we kind of like push in on her face and then we slowly pull back. I thought that was really great, and I thought it was going to end there, but obviously it didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it, honestly it should have ended there, but
we needed that
right.
like kind of literal punch in the face, I think.
Right.
I mean, I guess like that had to happen, and then we do like end on another like close up of her face. but yeah, I think we really needed that to sort of feel that kind of pain.
Right. Especially as she's been like, I mean, there's that scene where she gets thrown by her father because because he's like doesn't want her to see their dying cows. Oh yeah, cows die in this film. Not literal. I mean, like they're not real cows, but there's cows that their cheese cows die.
Yeah. There's depiction of cow death.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Like this is a film that's probably just not going to cross many people's feeds. Like unless you're just deep into Turkish, getting your finger on the pulse of Turkish film.
Right.
But I mean, and it was good. I will never watch it again, but but I thought it was fine. I mean, I thought it was good.
Yeah, at least nobody gets like dropped off at a hospital and abandoned. No one takes their dog to the shelter out of nowhere, right? I mean, so that doesn't happen. God,
Omaha was so. I wanted to just go to the Modern this weekend and like wait for. I don't want to see it, but I want to watch. I want to be there as people exit the theater, just to ask them how they're feeling, how they're doing.
Yeah. So, how do you feel now?
Right. Cafe Modern should have a bar like set up right outside of the theater, just for some people to kind of recover
with well vodka and tissues. That's just
yes. Here's your shot, and here's your Kleenex.
Kleenex. Yeah. Okay. Bye. I think that's a good like marketing strategy. We should try that.
Yeah, great. Therapy bar.
Yeah. Therapy. That's the bar. That's the bar.
Right, that's the bar. And so our second film that we watched was called If I Leave, Will They Miss Me?
If I go, will they miss?
If I go, will they miss? It's a very difficult. They need to change that title.
Why?
It's very difficult.
I like it. I like it.
It's too many words.
I don't word good. I mean,
right. But and also the words, they're too interchangeable. Like, it'd be different if it was like hard words to say, and then you remember it. But now it's just like, now I feel like an old man on the train, like getting the cool hip kid phrase wrong. Like,
not here, can you see me?
Right. No capital? Is that what you're saying? I don't understand, like, why don't you just say don't lie? I don't get it. Yeah, nope. That's me talking about this film. Like it's
no capital. That's good. Wow.
Wow. But this is a film about a young boy named Lil Ant and his father coming back from a stint in prison, right? I mean, he went away for a while for accidentally killing a man, and his father kind of reintegrating into his life and reintegrating into his own life, and these basically kind of the trauma that like holds us back in a way. We see all of this imagery of people who have gone and that are trying to fly. And so there's like it feels there's a little bit of weirdness to this and like a kind of mystery that feels like an A24 type of film in that sense of kind of like otherworldliness. Although it's never really it's never ridiculous. It's just and it's never really dwelled on too long. I mean I really like the scene of Ant floating above little Ant and kind of showing him how to fly. Yeah. Aside from my tiredness in this film, I really dug this movie.
That was my favorite.
What's that?
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, be snoring.
You're snoring at the theater.
Yeah, that doesn't make it sound that great, but in all fairness, it was warm in the theater. The movie has very quiet parts in it, and so the
Yeah.
part, and so and Brock woke me up straight away, which is I appreciate. I did not want to be this. I've been in movie theaters where people just flat out like, I saw Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, and some guy sat out front and like snored the entire time, and I'm just like, that's a long time to go. I mean, like you paid
It's a big nap.
an extra right to take a you paid money to take a nap in a I guess it's dark, but it's loud. I mean,
Right.
anyway, I thought this film was. The only thing I would say about this film is that like the other kids in the family kind of get shorted in their story.
Right.
So I don't necessarily know if those. I mean, like those characters really do much or add much to the story. I don't think it really matters, but like we do feel like obviously big, Ant Senior sees himself in Ant Junior and has trouble reconciling that, and it's easier for him to kind of connect with his daughter on a more superficial level of like, buying her things because she got straight A's and
Right.
but a kid who is sensitive in the way that Ant was, and has artistic talent in the way that Ant does or did. I mean, I think that dynamic is really great, and it never really becomes like, it never falls into the, and no shade to Singleton, but like, it never falls into the realm of like Boys in the Hood, where it becomes preachy, right? It doesn't like, I mean, there's one moment I think about where when they're kind of sitting out and he's like, your son sees you as a god, that it gets a little bit like that, but I think it all kind of works on a really, on that level. It doesn't go too far to be like, we're trying to like give you a message, like don't be a menace kind of like where they pop up and like,
Right. Right. This is very much a kind of like show don't tell movie. Which I really appreciate. I mean, there's so much that gets, again, like left unsaid in this film, or like a lot of the details maybe aren't there. But I think in a film like this, it totally works. Where we get enough, we see enough, we understand kind of exactly the situation of this family. We understand what happened to Big Ant and why he sort of wants to reject some of these parts of Little Ant. Even though there are moments where he fully embraces them until he kind of like, quote unquote comes to his senses, right? And in this moment where, the moment you're referring to where Big Ant's friend is like, your son sees you as a god. I mean, that to me felt very much like a message not to us. And what I mean is I think this movie has a lot to do with like black fathers and sons, right?
yeah, agree, yes.
So it's like, I very much think that was not, that was geared towards a particular audience. And like his friend says, like, we could never look at our fathers that way. We could never say that about our fathers.
Right.
And I do, and so this idea too of like generational trauma, I think kind of shows up when Big Ant sees these drawings of him depicted as like Poseidon, right? That his son thinks of him as this kind of god, and he can't handle that, right? He can't handle being seen that way because he doesn't see himself that way.
Right.
But I think it's like really, really well done. And of course, all he knows how to do then is lash out, right? Because of a kind of, I think, I don't want to get like too psychoanalytical, but I think, because of a kind of self-loathing.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and like a shame of like what he did and having to leave his family, because he went to prison and like kind of falling into those trappings of like, this was an accident, but, it was a terrible thing that he did still. And yeah, that whole moment of like trying to be who he's shifted into as well as the person that he was.
Right.
I think this is, I think I think the performances are great on both sides. I mean, on Ant and Little Ant, I mean, I think the performances are great in this entire film. I think there's some really like, some really like human asides that are done extremely well. Like the moment where they are talking about ranch, extra ranches and like, like them just playing dominoes together and kind of living in this space. I think are really portrayed well.
Yeah, I really dug this, and I really liked the kind of surreal aspect that it brought into it, and never felt like those kind of like weird moments or when the drawings would come to life. They always felt earned. They always felt like they were in the right space in the film.
Yeah.
They never felt like they were there just for show, right, or as a gimmick. The scene that you mentioned with Big Ant flying, showing Little Ant how to fly. I mean, that was one of the, few moments where they shared like a real connection in the film, right? In a film that's all about them trying to find this connection. Both of them kind of sharing this sort of like love for watching the planes, right? And Big Ant's father wanting to be a pilot. And so that connection I thought was just really well done. And to see Big Ant, the one flying and laughing and sort of smiling and having that like moment of joy to show his son.
So, how do you think the filmmaker felt when he watched Weapons? It was like, fuck.
There's a scene that's very, very reminiscent of Weapons.
Where the kids are running with their arms behind them. So there's a lot of like imagery about people who they've lost or are flying away, or there's a lot of flying imagery. So it ends up where there's a couple of sequences where we get people kind of running with their arms behind them, and there's even a moment where Little Ant leaves his house to follow those people, and I'm just thinking, oh man, like doesn't it really matter? These are two different films with two wildly different audiences. But it just feels like, these are so similar to get to like people. They're definitely going to make that. Like every question, every Q&A, you're going to get that question.
See that?
And it's unfortunate that that's going to be a thing.
But I thought those are powerful scenes too, though. I mean, showing them.
I think so too.
Like, white t-shirts and black jeans, kind of in this uniform, and in this uniform pattern of them all like going together.
Right. Yeah, no, keep an eye out for it. It got picked up and bought for $1 million, so hopefully it'll see distribution soon. I think there's fall. Okay, cool. And we'll try to do our best to see if we can get in touch with the filmmakers to do an interview with them. Cause out of all the ones that we've seen that we didn't get to speak to somebody about, this is one of the ones I would really love to like sit down and talk to somebody about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was really good. I mean, the more I sit with it, the more I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, me too. Yeah. And then our last film was the Maude Apatow vehicle, the directorial debut of Maude Apatow, called Poetic License, produced by Judd Apatow, starring Leslie Mann Apatow, who's not really her name, but Leslie Mann.
Did you just if she wanted her husband's last name, I think she would have changed.
I'm just trying to illustrate that this is a.
You're just trying to illustrate the patriarchy. Is that what you're doing?
Yes. I'm just trying to point out that if Leslie Mann really wanted to further her career, she would be Leslie Apatow. Let's just lay it all out there.
So what you think is that women are men's property, that men own women.
Look, I don't make the rules, Brock, okay?
You just abide them. You just shill for the man? Is that what I'm hearing? Literally,
Leslie Mann. I'm shilling for Leslie Mann's career, yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
And it comes back full circle. Leslie Mann, keep your name. You're killing it. You're killing it in your husband and your daughter's films because I'm not sure you're in anything else. But, and look, that's your choice, and I mean that's fine. You're funny. I think you're really funny in 40-Year-Old Virgin. And I don't think she's bad in this. Like whereas sometimes she comes off like I think especially in like, I mean, she has moments in Knocked Up, and I did not see This Is 40 because like This Is 40 is just not a film that I want to sit through. Like I don't want to sit through close to white what? I mean, not really, but like it just like I don't want to sit through white suburban malaise.
Yeah.
Unless it's done by an Italian director.
Right. Exactly.
I just. Right. I don't want to do it until it's done by a master.
Take up serious biking and sneak cupcakes out of the garbage. You didn't want to do that?
No, I don't even know what the fuck. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I don't even know. Like, I just know this.
That's the scene from the movie, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And like, it just feels like I want This Is 40 to turn into Over Your Dead Body. And it never does. It's just the early bad parts of, not the early bad parts, but it's the early bad parts of the relationship that you got to sit through the entire time. And yeah, it just never, and like, yeah, when it came out, I was not in a place to see that movie, to be quite honest. So yeah, I mean, sure, maybe it's fine.
Right.
Regardless, back to Leslie Mann. I think she has her moments. I don't think she's terrible in this. I think she's fine. I actually really like this movie. I think it's funny. I think the script is really good. I think it plays, I think it plays short shrift to like mental illness, but to be fair, this is not what this film is trying to do. And I get that. Yeah. And so I'm not overly concerned with, the safety of Cooper Hoffman's character. Although I do think they could have and I will appreciate about this movie is that it doesn't really become This Is 40. It doesn't become where it doesn't become like, oh, where we've all got to have this huge resolution. It's just,
right.
I mean, it does wrap up, but it doesn't hit you over the head with
right.
Like something like I mean, I throw this out there, it's going to be seemingly really random, but like something like When a Man Loves a Woman, right? Which is another Philip Seymour Hoffman film, but like, where you have, this big, huge thing where this woman is not being, like, she feels untethered in this world. And like, we don't have this whole moment of like, we have to have this ultimate moment of danger. There's everything is so low stakes that it allows it to be funny and like endearing and engaging, without having to worry about, oh shit, is someone going to do something like truly horrific? And it keeps it all, I think it keeps it all really well done. There's not like this like huge moment, like even the fight sequence between, the two male leads is silly and overblown, and it doesn't really matter, right? You're never worried that either one of these guys is going to land a meaningful punch.
Right. And it doesn't go on for too long. It's fight scene.
No.
So it's like, I like that, like, the resolution or like the wrap up, we don't see. Like, we don't hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, so like Leslie Mann and her husband, like they're like kind of pre-connection. Like, we don't hear any of that. Like, we're outside, like watching it from the window. So I thought that was smart.
And it leads, and the lead up to that lands with one of the best jokes in the movie, which is what grocery store is playing the Rent soundtrack, which I think is a great, like, that feels like someone was like, that joke needs, like, that feels like after the fact, like ADR recording, and then like someone's like, that's a joke that has to be in there. You can't leave this, that comment unaddressed. This joke has to be in the movie.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
I forget the actor's name who plays Sam. He was in that No Hard Feelings with Jennifer what's her face? Jennifer Lawrence. And that was the first thing I think I've seen him in. But like I thought him and the interplay between him and Cooper Hoffman was really good. It's embarrassing how good I think Cooper Hoffman is at this young age. And I know his dad was this good. That doesn't obviously always translate, but fuck, he's good in this movie. And like,
he's really good at
it. Really solid. And like, this is an easy role to fuck up, I think. Like, it's an easy role to overplay and to like not be able to not have the charisma to kind of really rein it in. And I think like more than any of his other roles, because I think you can kind of like see a little bit of like Jason Schwartzman in Rushmore when he's in Licorice Pizza. Like, he doesn't quite feel comfortable in that role. Like, he's trying to like prove himself. I think, and
Yeah.
like, even in like something like The Long Walk, which I don't think is a great movie. I mean, I think he's fine in it, but I think it's asking him to do, I think everyone's trying to do too much in that film. Like, I think this really is
Right.
just, I mean, a stellar performance from him. And, I mean, just like the comedic chops that he pulls off, which I know his dad was good at, but like this feels like, I mean, something truly different. I mean, like, because when his dad would do it, his dad always did it to the rafters, right? When his dad was doing comedy, it was always, you know, Along Came Polly, or, you know, there were these moments that was like,
Yeah.
he had to play this huge larger than life thing. And I think Cooper does this role on a more subdued level. I think and it really, really, it makes us, I mean, obviously this is not a Ben Stiller vehicle, but I think it really kind of serves this film extremely well. And I think this is what people will be talking about when they go see this movie, about how good he is in this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect from this film. And I'm like really, you know, pleasantly surprised that I like it as much as I do. I do worry a little bit that Leslie Mann's character is just a different version of a manic pixie dream girl,
Yeah.
where,
Yeah, agreed.
you know, I'm not sure that it's as much about her as it maybe thought it was or it needed to be. Now look, I think she has, you know, more interiority and a more like fully formed, you know, character than say Natalie Portman in Garden State, but she's still kind of there, like, so that all these other people realize things. I don't know.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah,
so that was like,
I'm with you. I think, I don't know as a whole. I think this may be a movie that's like the sum of its parts is greater than the whole. I mean, like, I don't know if honestly, like, we're here, we're
yeah.
last night, we're kind of delirious. It was a funny movie. I found myself laughing quite a bit. I
Whoa.
don't know if I'm going to go back
Yeah.
and think, I don't know if I'm going to go back and think, oh, this is a fully formed film that I really, I mean, like, but I will say this, like, I feel like I would come
Yeah.
back to this more than I would other Apatow films. I think, and again, I think what, you know, and again, who knows in the editing room, and again, I don't know how old Maude Apatow is, and again, I hate to, so I'm just going to give credit where credit's, like, where I think credit's due, right? She's a young director,
Yeah. No,
and whatever she did, she brought something home here that works, right? So, like, did she have to do anything
yeah.
that was, like, amazing? Not necessarily, but hey, she put together a film that is really solid. The performances are good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she had a great support structure behind her, I'm sure. But look, kudos to her. This is a great first entry. And if this is, you know, you know, if this is where she's going, I think cool. Because again, like, this doesn't go on too long. Like, whereas all Apatow
Yeah.
films, especially something like Funny People, like where his like dramatic stuff, like where it's like pseudo dramatic,
Right.
you know, these kind of amalgam films, like Funny People goes on, like that whole Eric Bana character in Funny People doesn't need to exist because that you don't
Because
need
Eric
that
Bana's
moment.
funny. Just kidding.
Right. Eric Bana definitely is definitely, no, he's not. He's not funny. I mean, look, he's fine as Hulk, but he's not funny.
Right.
So, yeah,
He's
so
like
kudos, I
Australian
mean,
or
so
something.
kudos,
I mean, like,
right. So kudos to Maude. I mean, I think, this film, was funny. I think it'll do well. I think it'll get good reviews. And yeah, I mean, like, you know, it was fine. I mean, look, is it gonna like win any awards? I mean, no, but you doesn't have to. You will go, you will laugh, and sometimes that's all you need.
yeah. Yeah, but you know, awards are always nice. If you want to give me an award, I'll
Yeah.
take one. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
It's
please.
not like,
Yes,
yeah, it's
we
not
would
like
love an
any,
award. If
yeah.
you're
Any award.
handing them out, just give me an award.
Just an honorary
Something,
certificate
anything.
is fine. Yeah.
An attaboy, a
Honorary
thumbs
certificate. Yeah. Yeah, look, just a fucking participation ribbon would be great.
up. Right.
Give me
Right.
a participation ribbon and a consolation cake, and I'm good. Yeah, just keep them coming. All right, anything else you need to get to? Are you home yet?
Yeah, I'm home. I just now pulled in, but I was just to say, man, like we did it. DIFF is in the books. It's done.
Another DIFF in the books. We tipped again.
We did film DIFF yet again. So
we did film DIFF again. Yeah,
and we'll have a couple of. Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you to DIFF. Thank you to James Faust and the whole crew out there. Lots of people I don't know their names or I forget their names, but yeah, this is amazing. We always love doing this. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We will continue to keep talking about DIFF for a little while. We've got, I think we need to talk, the Chelsea Football Club documentary. We watched it. We might as well talk about it.
And
Tooner. I want to talk about Tooner.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I think we're going to reach out to a few filmmakers that we didn't have a chance to speak with, and see if we can get on their schedules to talk about their films. I don't know. And like Maud Apatow. We're going to see if we can, we saw your film in DIFF. Don't know much about you, but can you tell us about your process?
Yeah. So,
I'll reach out to Cooper Hoffman's,
how long have you been in film? How'd you get into film?
Right. I noticed that a lot of people that were part of, right. I know some people that are in your credits have your same last name. Are they related to you?
That's weird. Are there more than one Apatow family? Crazy.
Yeah, it seems like an odd last name. Is that yeah? Were your family members involved?
Have you met Leslie Mann before? I think she's great.
She's so funny. She's such a versatile actress.
Could you imagine if she was your mom?
What would you even do?
I know. Gosh. Yeah.
All right, man. Be safe getting the rest of your drive home to wherever the fuck you live. And
farmland.
Hey, so if you're out there listening, we've got a screening coming up on Saturday. We're doing a lot of stuff on Saturday. Some of the stuff we don't even know what we're doing yet.
This is true.
But we got a really beautiful film called Wolf Walkers. And then if you're listening and you're in the area on May 5th, please come out to the Modern to watch Welcome to the Dollhouse. With Heather Matarazzo. But that's not her name. Matarazzo. Something along those lines.
Yeah. Well, I think that's close enough.
She's so good.
She gets it. She gets it. Yeah.
And Brendan Sexton III.
That's right. In a talk that it's not as deserving.
It's great. It's so much. Yeah. Right. It's not happiness.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
But I hope there's a really big crowd for that because that's a film that is so wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, man. Get home.
I will later. Look, everyone out there, thank you for listening on our DIFF journey.
Yes, and keep streaming.
There you go.
You have been listening to Why Does the Wilhelm Scream with your hosts, Brock and Jason. If you like today's episode, do us a favor and rate, review, and subscribe in whatever application you use to consume podcasts these days. You can reach us by visiting whydoesthewilhelmscream.com. If you're in the DFW area, we would love to see you at a Fort Worth Film Club event. You can learn more about those and find a full schedule at fortworthfilmclub.com. And you can learn about my foundation and how we are trying to foster the next generation of film lovers at realhousefoundation.org. That's REEL housefoundation.org. Till next time,